This is the cheapest GPS drone on Amazon. It's called the Blinory HK55, and today we're gonna see what all the hype's about. Now, this drone claims to have an HD camera, GPS return to home, follow me mode, circle fly, gesture selfie mode, waypoint mode, one button takeoff and landing, and auto hover. And in this video, we're gonna be testing out most of these features. All right, let's see what comes inside of the box. Come on. All right, comes with a little gray carrying case here. Pretty light feeling. Also, this kit goes for $80 on Amazon. Anyways, let's see what we got here. All right, so we've got some propeller guards. If it's your first time flying a drone, might not be a bad idea to throw these on. You've got 4 extra propellers. You've got 2 USB type A to C cables for charging the batteries and the controller. Some extra screws for the propellers and a little tiny screwdriver. Come on. Actually, they do give you another set of 4 spare propellers, so 8 spare propellers in total. All right, you've got an instruction manual, and on page 4 is the QR code that you're gonna need in order to download the app for the drone. Oh, and if for some reason the QR code did not work for you, the app is called HK55 Drone Go on the iOS store. You've got a controller, comes with a couple of foam pads on the joysticks here to keep everything from getting damaged during shipping. On the bottom of the controller here, you can see the USB Type-C charging port. Nice that you do not have to throw in any AA batteries. Power button on the right side, return to home and speed button on the left side, camera and video buttons up here on the top, a button to take you out of GPS mode, and a button to make the camera point up or down. Feels pretty decent. All right, we've got a single cell 2400 milliamp battery pack. It's like we've got another battery pre-installed in the drone here. And last but not least here, we do have the drone. Got a little peel on the lens. Now, this drone does not have a full gimbal, but it does have a shock absorption system built into the camera mount. So you can see this can kind of take a lot of the jiggle out of your flight, but it by no means is gonna look like it's on a gimbal, as you'll see later in this video. But it does have the ability to tilt the camera up and down, which is a nice feature in a drone in this price range. Got your visual positioning sensor on the bottom here. One thing I do want to point out here that's really nice is on the left side of the drone, there is a slot for a micro SD card. They do not provide you one with this drone. You're gonna need to buy one for yourself. A small 8 or 16 gig card will be plenty, but that is what's going to make you have the ability to record footage directly to the drone instead of how companies usually do it with going over Wi-Fi to your phone. So definitely invest in a cheap micro SD card for the drone. Overall, definitely under 249 grams, so there's no reason that you'll have to register this thing with the FAA. I'm just gonna go top off these batteries and the one for the controller, and then we're gonna take this thing out and see how good it is. I'll see you guys out in the field. All right, now I have not turned this thing on before, so you guys are gonna be going through this setup process with me for the first time. However, I have started up a lot of drones before, so hopefully this one will be pretty easy to do. So in theory, even though it is a GPS drone, it does still get controlled and receive video footage over Wi-Fi, but it does have the capability to record that footage also directly to the SD card, which is what we're going to be doing today in this video. So first thing you got to do, take your controller, turn it on, in theory. All right, blue light means we're good. Next thing you're going to want to do is push the button on the back of the drone to turn it on. And drone is firing up. Give the drone a second here to turn on, and while we're doing that, let's open up the Wi-Fi networks on our phone. There it is, HK55 drone with the serial number after it. I assume that's the serial number. Open up the app here. Got to ask you to allow a bunch of permissions, location, access to your photo library and stuff like that. Theory now, we just hit play. We have to calibrate the compass. It's recommended, but you don't have to do it every single time. Compass calibration. All right, so just follow the steps on screen. Got to rotate the drone, usually 720 degrees, 2 rotations. There we go. Now do it vertically and do the same thing. And just like that, we have calibrated the drone. So we're gonna set this guy down here. And in theory, we should be ready for our first flight. Let me just double check, I am still screen recording. We are, okay. Video footage is coming across. You do get those errors every once in a while. You guys should have just seen that come up on screen where it says keep trying Wi-Fi because the signal's not working. It's because this is not a regular Wi-Fi network like you have at your house that is essentially allowing you to connect to the internet. It's only allowing you to connect directly to the drone. But everything does look like it's working. GPS mode is enabled. It says it will allow flight. So I am going to switch over to video mode and start recording. All right, I see the little timer saying that we're recording. That should be it. Let's give this thing its first flight. All right, typically it sticks to the lower inner corners. Nope, not here. Sticks to the outer corners. All right, am I in frame here? I am. All right, let's take off. Whoa, that was quick. All right. I am going to put on screen now the footage that's actually coming off of this camera that I am recording directly to the SD card that's on the drone so you guys can see what that looks like. And let's just test out real quick the ability to tilt the camera up and down. All right, that is working. So you can see we can come down a little bit. The beeping noise is kind of annoying, but nonetheless, that is up in the air as we can tilt the camera. And let's go off this way real quick and get a little footage here and see how this thing looks. I am going to try to fly 100% just off of the footage that we're getting off of the drone here to simulate real drone flight. It does have some different speed modes that we can try out. Okay, don't want to get too close to those trees there. Without having a gimbal, it is a little bit rough, but it's totally usable, a lot better than a lot of the other like $50 to $75 drones you see on the market. And currently we're getting like 10 mile an hour winds with like maybe up to like 15 mile an hour gusts, I'd say, something around there. So it is getting blown around a decent amount. Let's try switching to a different speed mode. Is that doing it? There we go. All right, we're moving. It's definitely a little bumpy, but for $80, I have done a lot of reviews on drones under that $100 price point. Most of them are not worth purchasing, especially under like $50. Once you get up to drones in this price range, having the ability to record directly to an SD card is a huge bonus because the footage you guys are gonna see off of that is gonna be a lot better than what you would normally get if you were screen recording directly to your phone. So that's a huge bonus. Cannot stress that enough. That makes these drones that are a little bit over $75, closer to $100, a lot more worth it. It's actually doing a pretty good job right here holding steady. I mean, you can see it's moving around a little bit. I'm not touching the controls or anything. It's just using GPS to keep it there, which, I mean, does look like it's doing pretty good. I want to try the return to home button real quick. I have very low hopes of this actually working, but it would be huge if it did. Okay, so the drone is going up oh wow, holy crap, I think it's working. Wow, okay, let me see if I can tilt the camera down so you guys can see how close it's gonna get to the pad. Oh no, you cannot tilt the camera full 90 degrees down. It only looks like it goes like 45 degrees or so. Okay, it's actually gonna land, it looks like about 5 feet off of the mark. I'm gonna cancel it here, if it will let me. Okay, the return to home did indeed work, which is good. I have tested drones in this price range that claim to be GPS, and the return to home button never works, and if it does, it lands like 20 feet away. So this was probably 8 feet or so off of the helipad that I've got here that I took off of. I gotta take these glasses off. The polarization is not good on my phone. See, can we land it on the helipad? Hey, we got it. Stop recording. All right, so here's the thing. Like I said, I have done videos on drones from $20 up to like, what, $2,000. And when it comes to drones under $100, the only one I've ever recommended is the Amita S20 Lite. It's a Wi-Fi only drone. It comes in like at $99 usually. This might be a little bit more compelling than that because it has the return to home features and the ability to put a micro SD card on it. I don't believe the Amita S20 Lite is definitely not GPS, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the ability to put a micro SD card into it. It might not, but having the ability to return to home if you get disoriented with a drone is absolutely a must-have. It makes this a little bit more appealing. So coming in at $80 for this drone, if you've never had a drone before, or you're trying to get maybe your kid or nephew or somebody into flying drones, this is a pretty good option that they're not gonna, you know, spend $1,500 on and then fly it out, crash it somewhere. Even if you have DJI Care, it still sucks when you crash those drones. They're super expensive to fix and very discouraging. For $80, it definitely has a place in the market. If you guys have any interest in picking up this drone, there's gonna be a link in the description down below over to Amazon where you guys can pick it up. That's it though for this video. If you guys like this kind of stuff, make sure you guys subscribe. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.